Hi guys, I've had a lovely Easter period and I thought I'd share some of the highlights with you. Anyway, my sister and her partner run a sports centre in Bracken Ridge. Free and
Yeah, it's a sport centre.
and they're getting very close to opening a water park for kids. And they thought they'd have a kind of open day thing on Easter Monday and have family and friends around. And it was the one time adults were allowed in there. Normally it won't be for adults, but I thought you might want to have a look at it. It's really good fun. The kids are absolutely going to love it. It's going to be a big hit. Hasn't opened just yet, but I'll let you know as soon as it has. Now, as some of you already know from Facebook, when Mark and I decided to go away to the Gold Coast, that was the one night that our dragon fruit decided to flower, and it only flowers for one night. So we were pretty disappointed to come back and find some shriveled husks of where we thought some beautiful dragon fruit flowers would be. And I've never seen them before, so it was really disappointing.
Boo!
But luckily, plenty more have formed. And in the last 3 nights, we've had the most incredible display of them. 9 more blooms have come out, and they are stunning.
Oh, look at that. This flower was huge. It was 32 centimeters across and gorgeous. Now, the heavy breathing you hear in these videos isn't because I found this flower a little too sexy. It's because I actually suffer from hay fever. Though I did enjoy getting my fingers dirty with the pollen from the anthers and rubbing it on the stigma. Naughty little stigma.
Ew! So down the side of the house where those dragon fruit are planted, it's still unfinished. It's a bit of a boggy mess, but we had a quote to get a deck put down, and it was going to be 11 grand. 11 grand. What? Needless to say, I'm looking at designing something that's going to be a simpler option. So we headed out to Bunnings to see what cost-effective materials we could use.
Where we instead found a petting zoo, as you do. And while I thought goats, chickens and llamas would make for soft stepping stones, I decided to look for sturdier materials. Now the garden has been looking really beautiful, as you can see, especially coming out at sunset. All of the plants are starting to fully establish. The birds all come out. We've got the water fountains going. I mean, it's pretty special now. It feels like a proper tropical rainforest, which was what we were hoping for, but didn't think we'd be able to get because we get full sun in the back garden. But we've managed to fill it with some beautiful little things, and look at these zoysia. They're so cute. And I've been taking every opportunity that I can get to just stick my feet up and enjoy it for what it is. Mark grew some lemongrass and used it to make... nearly. Yeah, oh, steamed dumplings. Ooh. I was, however, not impressed by this stingy avocado, and I think the chicken may have hurt herself squeezing this one out. But at least I'm not an egret who has to hunt for dinner in a sewer. Well, okay, it's not really a sewer, it's the runoff from the watercourse in Humbybong Park in Redcliffe.
Now, growing up when I did, Redcliffe had a pretty bad name for itself.
Yeah, you want to buy some fish, mate?
Now, it's a really beautiful little seaside town.
There's plenty of boardwalks, and as you can see, it's really pretty, and even the railings are doing a bling! All of the local teenagers gather on this pier and jump off it. It's pretty cool they let them do that. There are lots of parks around with free barbecues and seating areas, and really nice walks along the water, and even the beaches around here are swimmable and quite cute. The water is nice and clean, and I frickin' love this wind sculpture. Cheers. Cheers. You gotta cheers me. Look at it, you gotta look at my eyes while I do it. Cheers. And check out this awesome car. I want it! Now, a lot of people don't know this, but Redcliffe was where the Bee Gees were raised. And to honour their contribution to music, they built this, Bee Gees Way. Yes, I am serious, this actually exists. So if you're like me and all the other slightly embarrassed fans, you should come and get a photo taken with them, especially if you're hot like these guys. In other exciting suburban news, a new cinema has opened up at North Lakes Shopping Centre, or mall as you Americans might call it. As far as crass temples to consumerism go, North Lakes is a pretty good one, and a new cinema is a welcome addition. But Dad, I hear Batman vs Superman is one of the worst rated blockbusters in history. Oh, shut up and eat your $300 popcorn. Dick puddle. Now I know to a lot of people shots of driving are going to be pretty boring, but I wanted to show everybody what it's actually like to live in the suburbs, in Narangba in Brisbane anyway, because Ultimately, when I watch other people's YouTube videos, I like to see what their day-to-day life is like. It's easy to show all of the cool stuff and all the fun stuff you did, but really, this is suburban life, and hey, some of you might find it interesting. For example, yes, we still have Blockbuster here. Unbelievable but true. I'm sure a lot of you Americans are looking at this with nostalgic fondness. So this is our estate. You can see the display village there, and I really like it. It's very cookie cutter, but it's still pretty. I mean, this park here is pretty amazing. It's a pretty big park, and it's got lots of swings and stuff for the kids. It's pretty cool. We're pretty lucky to live here. Look at your face. This is my street. I mean, come on, it's pretty cool. Pretty excited. And we may not be living in the city, but I am so grateful to have a house at all, because as an animator, I honestly never thought I'd be able to afford a place. Hello.
Now, as lovely as the burbs are, sometimes I have to get into the city.
And a beautiful city it is too. Now, as I don't drive and I work from home, I sometimes feel pretty stranded in the suburbs. It's a bit of a walk to get to the train station, and in the heat, that can be pretty horrific. Then it's an hour on the train into town. But it's definitely worth it. I decided to have a nice relaxing day and headed to the botanical gardens where, to my surprise, a lot of the subtropical plants were flowering, and I had to take photos. Who doesn't love flowers? And berries! I did, however, somehow manage to resist the urge to smack the drone remote out of this guy's hands. Please enjoy the rather more soothing sounds of Brisbane bird life. Pretty! Having had enough of the serenity, I later caught up with a friend at a pub who subsequently told me he was moving to Melbourne.
So that sucked.
But on a brighter note, a book I'd helped fund with Kickstarter finally arrived. Yeah, I wear a sarong. What of it? Deuce.
My ice block has popping candy.